Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with the DRF race of the day for Tuesday, September the 27th. It's race number 5 at Assiniboia Downs. We're going 5.5 furlongs. It's a $3,500 claimer. Before we get to the full preview, here's a brief message. Want to view free Formulator past performances for this race? Head to the Race of the Day page at DRF.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel and bet this card with DRF Bets. Here's the field for race number 5 at the Downs on Tuesday. This race is part of the $1 Pick 4 sequence with a $50,000 guaranteed pool. It is also part of the 20-cent ASD Jackpot Pick 5. Going into Monday's card, the Pick 5 carryover over $466,000. If nobody hits it on Monday, even a bigger carryover pool into the Tuesday card. And the sequence again would include race number 5. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector. Interesting pace scenario as you see by the gray bar on the pace projector. That in Timeform US parlance indicates this race has no speed, and there are no burners in here. Horses like the 5 Wits Coco, the 6 Drizzy, the 3 Danza Rebel, these are horses that have a good amount of tactical speed. I would expect them to be close to the pace. I don't think they'll be hurt if the pace is very slow. A horse that might, however, is the number 1 Mr. Pickles, who's dropping out of a couple of $5,000 claiming races. He should really appreciate the class relief. He was claimed for 7,500 5 starts back. He won for 5 2 starts back, and it's possible his most recent start, the defeat was due because of a sloppy racetrack, which I don't really think he handles as well as he does fast going. Mr. Pickles, though, is going to be cutting back significantly in distance. For most of his career, he has been a 2-turn horse. He has not gone a short sprint since all the way back in 2020 when he was campaigning at Del Mar. And while he showed tactical speed last time out, look at the fractions he was close to. They went 49 and 1 to the half mile. They're not going to go very fast in this sprint race, but they're not going to go that slow. And I wonder if Mr. Pickles, cutting back in distance, will be out-sprinted in the early portion of this race. Still, he does fit very well from a class perspective. The number 2 is Warbridge, who dropped into this $3,500 claiming level in his most recent start, and he ran quite fine. He sat on the outside. He came with a run following the cover of Drizzy, who's also in this race, eased to the outside, and he just got up for second in the shadow of the wire. He has lots of runner-up efforts on his page, but he's a horse that's far from a hanger. He's won 6 times in his career. My concern with Warbridge is similar to the one with the number 1, Mr. Pickles. I think this is a horse that benefits if the pace is strong. I think he prefers to come from out of it, and I prefer him on the bottom of single race exotics in our Tuesday race of the day. The 3 is Danza Rebel. This horse is just in razor-sharp form. He loves the Downs. He's won 3 of 4 lifetime here. He's coming into this race on a 2-race winning streak, and he just won for the nickel last time out, and that was a legit race. He beat 2 next-out winners. The runner-up would come back, drop to this level, and score with a 60 Beyer speed figure. Danza Rebel comes into this race off a 55 Beyer, a very competitive number, and he's tactical. Last time out, his first race off the claim, he rallied from out of it. The time before, he was right up and on the pace. Danza Rebel is a consistent, solid performer. 9 to 5 on the morning line, maybe a little bit light. It's not like he has such a strong speed figure edge that I want to just hand this race over to Danza Rebel, but he's a strong contender coming out of a very live race and a good fit at this level, especially if the pace is not very fast. Flash of Glory is the number 4, and Flash of Glory was claimed out of his most recent start, a 7-furlong sloppy track effort where he sort of ran wide and even, and I don't think the race flow that day worked to his advantage. He is another horse that's cutting significantly back in distance, and I personally believe this horse is slightly better at longer distances. He also doesn't have a lot of early speed. If the Timeform US pace projector is right, Flash of Glory could really be up against it from a race flow standpoint. Wits Coco is the 5. He's a very consistent horse. He's won 6 of 15 in his career. Let's watch his most recent start. Well, 6 of 16. He ran second in this race, a $3,500 claimer. He finishes ahead of Drizzy. This pace was solid. Wits Coco was the favorite in here. He's trying hard. He's going to get up for second over Drizzy. This race snapped a 2-race win streak. He had won 3 of his 4 previous outings. He's simply in good form. He is a good fit at this level, and just a horse that's going to be in the thick of things when they turn 4 home. And we know he competes very well with horses like Drizzy, who was beaten by Wits Coco and then came right back to win this race for the 3,500 last time out at the Downs, going 5.5 furlongs. And we see him on the outside here. He's on his left lead, and he's going to take the lead with Warbridge following. The 5th place finisher would come back to win a minor race at Marquee Downs. Drizzy has won from on the lead. He did so 4 starts back, where he went right to the front, breaking from the inside post. So he does have some gas. It's not like he came from a million lengths out of it in his most recent race. This outside post position gives the jock plenty of options. You can either put this horse on ascend and try to make a clear early lead. You can sit just off if a couple of horses to the inside have similar intentions. Drizzy, another horse like Wits Coco, figure to be gearing up on the turn and should be right there when they turn into the straight. Before we get to my top pick, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for all the latest DRFTV video franchises. I'm going to go back to Drizzy. I like his tactical speed. I like the way he won last time out. I think this is a tougher spot. He's going to have to down Wits Coco, a horse that beat him 2 starts back. But Drizzy, to me, is coming into this race in very good form. I wish he was a little bit smoother with his lead changes. 3-1 on the morning line is sort of the ultimate determining factor for me. I think that is a very fair price for a consistent horse. I'll go with the 6 Drizzy. Tuesday race of the day at Assiniboia Downs. Remember that pick 4, $50,000 guaranteed pool. Good luck.